Hi everyone, and today I'm going to be filming a video discussing denial in Tourette syndrome. So there are a few reasons why someone may deny or say that they don't have Tourette's, or say they're not ticking, or be afraid to show it to others, be afraid to tell people, or maybe suppress. There's a lot of reasons why this may occur. So the first reason is quite common. Some people may have a fear of judgment. So for example, I've seen some people who might try and tick when other people look away because they don't want people to see them ticking. And I know other people who, when asked if they have Tourette's, they'll say no, even though they actually do have it. They just don't want their friends to know, simply because they don't know how they will react. And I know for me is that when I was 12, I started a Tourette syndrome awareness Instagram account. But for the first few weeks, I actually blocked my nan on there because I was sort of scared of her seeing it. But then I did eventually unblock her. But that's just another example of how some people may have some sort of fear of judgment, of people knowing about the condition. Another issue that people may have in relation to denying their condition is subconscious suppression. There's two types of tic suppression, and both are very harmful and distressing and dangerous. But the difference is that conscious suppression is where you're purposely suppressing, and that's very, very uncomfortable because the predominantly urge builds up and then it does explode as rebounds. The difference with subconscious suppression is because when you're subconsciously suppressing, you don't know you're doing it. You're doing it due to an internalized fear of judgment. However, there will still be a rebound when you're in a safe environment such as the home, and there's nothing wrong with the home environment. It's just that that's where you feel safe to let it out, because anything that's held in has to come out. Another reason why people may deny their condition and not want to talk about it may be because they're afraid that if they talk about it, it will get worse, which is actually quite a common occurrence. Sometimes if you talk about Tourette's, your tics may temporarily get worse. But to be honest, even though tics temporarily get worse, you do have to still talk about it sometimes to explain it to others so that you can create an inclusive society where you can get the accommodations and modifications you need. So I know that for me, even though my tics may get worse if I see other people tick or meet others, it is worth it, as we're going to have the condition for the rest of our lives and we need to still communicate it to other people that we have it. So it's just something that you have to get used to and find ways to cope with. And it's almost sort of like the stages of denial. When you develop Tourette's, whether it's gradual or sudden, it can still be very scary and confusing. Luckily, over time, that confusion does go away and you do start to accept it. But it can be sort of like the stages of denial, because, like the stages of grief, because you do deny it and then you might experience self-doubt as well. So I know for me, when I had self-doubt, it was a little voice in my thoughts saying, oh, you must be faking it, you must be doing it for attention. Now, obviously, I knew that wasn't true, but it was mainly me worried that I was being an inconvenience to others. What if I could suppress it better? But it's not our job as people with Tourette's, or anyone with any condition, it's not our job to harmfully suppress our symptoms and hide who we are, just so that other people can be happy with their own ableism. The people who are ableist need to overcome that in themselves so that we can create a society that's inclusive of people with differences. But if we were to try and hide our symptoms or suppress them, then they do have to come out, and it's also very distressing and harmful to us as an individual because the urge builds up and it's very strong and uncomfortable. One thing that actually really helped me overcome self-doubt, though, was talking to other people with Tourette's and realising that they had the exact same thing, and it's just a normal stage of personal growth and can sometimes also be related to the co-occurring anxiety and OCD that can come with the condition. It is really important, as I said, to accept your Tourette's, though, because when you accept it, you are able to share your story with others, and that makes other people know that they're not alone and brings down their shame as well. So it sort of sends off a ripple effect. If you help yourself, then you help others. Now, I think it's really important to learn how to explain your Tourette's to others, because in public you can face a lot of ignorance and judgment, and unfortunately that may cause someone to try and withdraw and not want to go outside. But it is still really important to have independence, so it's important to maybe work with a therapist who can help you overcome your anxiety with that, talk to others in the Tourette's community about how you've coped with that, and also learn how to explain your condition. For me, I had a card that explained my Tourette's to others so that if I was too shy to explain it, I could just give them that card to read. And yes, I didn't always get negative reactions, but then I realised that that's their problem, not mine, because I can't control this. It's not my fault, whereas they can control their ableism and ignorance. They just need to learn. And I feel that I would rather have Tourette's than be judgmental and ignorant, so I kind of see my Tourette's as a positive now, as it has given me some good characteristics and qualities. Like, I feel like it has given me more wisdom to, like, know how to help others and develop empathy towards that. And also, as I said, it is really important in accepting yourself to also raise your self-esteem and empower yourself to be able to talk about this. And one of the ways that I've found to empower myself is to see the positives of my condition. Because even though Tourette's does cause a lot of struggles and even suffering, and it can be very difficult at times, I feel that there are positives. So, as I said, yes, it gives me wisdom and compassion and empathy, but also I feel like it's given me confidence. And that sounds quite ironic to say, because it did used to lower my self-esteem. But over time, I realised that I went through this and I made it out the other side even stronger, and it gave me a lot. So I feel like I can do anything, and it's given me a growth mindset, because I'll try something and know it can't be as bad as that. So it has given me a big growth mindset, and I feel like that's a positive of it. Also, if someone doesn't want to talk to you or someone about their Tourette's, then you can't force them. But it's important. So it's important for the person to know that they can share it with some people. Like maybe encourage them to go to a Tourette's group and open up to the other people with the condition there. Or maybe start what I did, start a social media account raising awareness of it, because it can be anonymous, but then over time you can talk to others and realise that you're actually helping people. So then you are actually okay with saying, yes, this is me, this is what I have, this is my story, because that's really important. If you own your story, you can't feel shame for it, and you're just proud of who you are and who it's made, like what qualities it has given you. So also, I know some people find it helpful to see some sort of CBIT therapist, as there is an element of that called psychoeducation, where you can learn about your condition and overcome any self-doubt, and also find ways to deal with the anxiety that may come with it, and learn to accept yourself and explain it to others. So that's really helpful for some people as well, although I understand like the suppression doesn't work for that many people. For me, it made me a lot worse, and redirection can be really helpful for some people because it can sort of prevent a tic from being harmful. But unfortunately that didn't work for me either. But redirection can be really helpful for some people, but the psychoeducation aspect can be really helpful. But if you can't see a CBIT therapist, then I 100% recommend going to a support group and talking to others who understand, because that has really, really helped me know that I'm not alone and that there are other people who have been through the exact same thing. But yes, it is really important to sort of open up also to your teachers and stuff about your Tourette's, even though you may feel slightly ashamed of it and you may feel some denial and not want them to know. But I actually think it is more important to open up, because then you can get the support you need and educate them so that they can help future students with the condition and stuff. So for me, when I had like a substitute teacher, I would give them a note. I'd write, I have Tourette's, this is what it does, this is how you can support me, and this is what you don't do. The bit where I said this is what you don't do was quite funny, because I was like, please don't send me out, please don't punish me, this isn't purposeful, because I have unfortunately had some not great instances with substitute teachers. But finding ways to cope with the judgment and communicating it effectively to others can be really, really helpful. So yes, I hope this video has helped, and I hope it has given you some ideas of how you can maybe overcome any self-doubt or denial and learn to accept yourself and embrace your condition. Bye!